What is going on? It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here with another NBA Prize Picks breakdown. I'm going to go over some very early looks here. It's actually on Monday night. These are for Tuesday. I found 5 picks on the early. Again, this is just a very early look. Basically, all we have is the Washington and Milwaukee game and the Orlando at Chicago game. Those are the only picks that are up. So I found a few that I like here, and then maybe I'll do a later breakdown tomorrow, since I'm going to get this out super early. It was really nice the NBA ended their games early tonight, so I could kind of dig into this early. So I wish we had more of these nights, but again, didn't do bad yesterday. Smashed the Red VanVleet over 6.5 assists. We just missed it on Desmond Bane over 2.5 assists. If you took the Josh Giddey over 7.5 rebounds, that cashed. If you took the points, rebounds, and assists, I believe it missed by 1. And then John Morant over 26.5 points smash. So depending what you took with Josh Giddey, either went 3 for 4 or 2 for 4 yesterday, or I guess today. But with that, again, if this helps you at all in your research, if you fade the plays, if you play them, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm just going to keep knocking out some research for you guys as long as you guys want it. And hopefully we can help you guys win some money and pick some winners. So with that, let's just dive right into this and see what we got on tap for tomorrow's early look for Tuesday. All right, as you can see, like always, I have the Prizepicks desktop up here. And again, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, go in the description below, hit that link and use promo code DFSArmy and get that 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Play these plays, use it for your research. Hopefully you win some money. So again, very early look. As you can see, all we really have up is 2 games here. But I'm going to go over the 5 plays I like out of these 2 games, and then I'm definitely going to do a video tomorrow, probably closer to the afternoon or maybe around lunchtime, once we get some more plays up here. But let's dive into these real quick. So the first one I'm going to look at, we're going to go to assists, and we're going to go Cole Anthony. And we're going to take the over for Cole Anthony here. Again, it looks like Chicago's favored by 10.5. Hopefully they can keep this game close. You know, they're still having a few injuries with Lonzo Ball on that team, but again, Chicago is a really good team. However, with Suggs back with Orlando, we're getting more assists out of Cole Anthony here. So he's hit this mark 3 out of his last 5, and he's hit this 7 out of his last 10. The minutes are there, 31, 36, 32, 30 over his last 4. Defense, Chicago defense against point guards is 24th. They're middle of the pack, 18th in the league is with assists allowed. He's averaged, just shy of 7 over his last 10 games. And if you look at the juice on some of the books that are out there, it's pushing almost minus 140 for the over here. So it's definitely one that I want to take advantage of, because I think this is going to go up to either 6 tomorrow, or it could even push 6.5, but I think it'll hit 6 tomorrow. So wanted to pull out this one. So definitely Cole Anthony over 5.5 assists. The next one we're going to look at here that we're going to jump on is we're going to look at assist as well, and this is an assist or points, rebounds, and assist. And we're going to take DeMar DeRozan over 5.5 assists. Or I also like his point, rebounds, and assists, and it is sitting at 36.5 with him. So this is one of those things, kind of like Giddey's yesterday, where I kind of like both of them. If you want to play like, take these plays and you want to mix and match them, I just kind of like on some of the guys where I like both. Maybe play one of them or mix and match them. But we do like the over 5.5 assists with DeMar DeRozan. And the big thing here is, with no Lonzo Ball out there, he's just distributing the ball more. If we look at, the last 3 games that, Ball's been out basically since the 15th of January. And so if we look at that, he's went 5 out of 8. He went 6 out of his last 10. The last 3 games, 10 assists, 8, 7. The minutes are always there for him, 34, 36, 37. So, Caruso's out as well. So he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. And when Levine gets hot, they do a very good job at passing the ball. So DeMar DeRozan's actually a minus 142 in some of these books at the over here. So it's one of those things that we can look at to take advantage of for the assist. And if I had to pick one, it's probably that. Points, rebounds, and assists. He's went over this mark 9 out of his last 10 games with no Lonzo Ball out there. So again, it's one of those things you have to love that as well. Orlando's 23rd in the association with rebounds allowed, 20th in points allowed, 27th against shooting guard. And DeRozan plays basically everything. He plays the 4, the 3, the 2. I kind of throw all that stuff out the window when it comes to what position they play in the NBA these days. And then 19th in assists allowed. So again, with no Lonzo Ball out there, last 10 games, he's actually went 9 over this mark 9 out of 10 times on the points, rebounds, and assists, which is sitting at 36.5. So no problem with assists, no problems with the points, rebounds, and assists. Everything's kind of pointing there. That's what I'm kind of looking at for him. The other one we're going to look at here is actually his running mate, and it's Nicola Vuchevich. We're going over to rebounds. I know this is a big number, 11.5. We're actually going to go the over here. It's one of those things where, he's went over this mark 6 out of his last 10 games, 4 out of his last 5. He's played Orlando 3 times this year, and he's hit it 2 out of 3 times, 13, 17. And then on the 26th, he only played 28 minutes that game, and he had 8. But again, the 23rd in the league in rebounds allowed, 26th in the league in defensive rebounds. So he's going to be out there a ton. He's going to go up against Mo Bamba and the old bull, Wendell Carter Jr., which we'll talk about him in a second. So it's one of those that we do like this spot for him. And again, it's a pretty high mark, but I think he gets it done pretty easily here. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging almost 12 rebounds a game. Over his last 5, 13 rebounds a game on average. And if you look at the books out there, again, he's like a minus 132 for this over. So I can see it moving to 12. I know it's a high number, but I do like it by looking at what we have to offer here. And then the next one we're going to go at, we're actually going to talk about the old bull, Wendell Carter Jr. And we're actually going to look at points, rebounds, and assists with him. This is one where he gets up to play the Bulls. Some of these guys don't get up to play their old teams. He is not one of them. Over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists I like. And I also like, actually I'm going to take that away because I think I like the points a little bit more. I like both. Over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists, or over 13.5 points. And I think we're going to take the points because I do feel like he pushes the ball a little bit more on the offensive end when he plays the Bulls. If we look at the last 3 times he's played the Bulls, he's scored 26, 21, and 19 real-life points the last 3 times he plays the Bulls. Again, the Bulls are kind of middle in the pack when it comes to points allowed for centers at 16th. And right in the middle of the pack, they're 19th in the association defense against centers. So, again, he gets kind of aggressive here, puts up the shots, 12, 15, and 15 in those 3 games. And so you have to like that. If we look at the points, rebounds, and assists, he went over this all 3 times as well, going up against the Bulls. 38, 35, and 27 points, rebounds, and assists in those 3 against the Bulls. And that points, rebounds, and assists, he's hit it 6 out of his last 10 times. And points, he's hit it 7 out of his last 10 times. So I just prefer the points, but I don't mind the points or the points, rebounds, and assists with him. Again, it's one of those things where even if the stats don't line up, even though they kind of do, it's just, if you've ever watched his games when he plays the Bulls, he is definitely more assertive and more aggressive here. So I think that's just going to continue here. So we're definitely going to look at that one. And the thing is, it's in Chicago as well. So I think that's also maybe a little bit motivation. The last one we're going to look at here that we're going to attack is, again, in the same game. I really don't like the Milwaukee at Washington game too much. So we're going to keep going to this game where basically every pick we've had has been this game. And we're actually going to get Franz Wagner. Over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, he's out there. He plays a ton of minutes. In his last games that he's played against Chicago, he's went over this mark all 3 times. 27, 30, and 24 points, rebounds, and assists, playing only 38 minutes that last game. Before that, 28 and 29. But again, I think with no ball out there, it does help. So the over on this, again, is about minus 20 out there on some of the books. So I think you can look at that. If we look at his last 10 games, he's hit this mark 5 out of 10 times. Again, this is my least confident 1 out of 5, but I wanted to give you a number 5 pick that I do like. So it'd be Franz Wagner over 23.5. We do want to talk about the Washington-Milwaukee game a little bit. Milwaukee's favored by 11.5 here. So we don't have no Bradley Beal and there's no George Hill in this game. So it's kind of hard to really predict where this is going to go, right? Like the usage is going to be super high on Spencer Dinwiddie and Kyle Kuzma. If you think this game is going to stay close, I would go the over on Kuzma. If you think it's not going to stay close, I would go the under on this. Milwaukee is completely healthy besides George Hill. The one thing that I was interested in a little bit, I was looking at, if you want to take a stab, maybe Chris Middleton at over 4.5 assists, just with no George Hill. When Drew goes out, Chris Middleton's going to, have the ball in his hands a lot. Of course, Giannis will as well. But I think Hill out could help his over assists here a little bit. Again, I'm not super excited about taking this. But, if we look at just the last 10 games, he's went over this 4.5 assists, 7 out of 10 games. And again, with no Bradley Beal there, I just worry that maybe it gets a little bit out of control. But Milwaukee hasn't been playing super well lately, so that would be one that I would kind of lean on. But overall, not a game that I really love to attack. Just with them completely healthy, it's a tough one. So again, just a quick look at the early games here. Knock this out on Monday night, but it is for Tuesday, February 1st. Can't believe January is over. And I will look at putting up another video around lunchtime with some of the other picks here. We got a 7-game slate on our hands. But again, want to get something out early for you guys with NBA getting out early. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to hit that like button on your way out, I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, and hopefully this helps you in your research process to make a little bit of money. So with that, I'm Cash Gig. Deuces.